With both positive and negative traits, the rare INFJ is notorious for portraying. They're not always met with love and acceptance, especially when it comes to the bad reputations that come as a result. So, what reputation could this empathetic type possibly have created for themselves? Welcome or welcome back, psychos. Before we get into it, we'd love it if you liked and subscribed to our channel, as well as to click the post notification bell so you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it. Starting with number 1. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yes, just like most other personality types, the INFJ does in fact have a side that they rarely let out for others to see. They have a darker side that lends its light to all the good the INFJ portrays on the surface. However, due to their unassuming nature, this other aspect of the INFJ type has given them the reputation of seeming like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Sure, due to their complex thought patterns and their ability to consciously and subconsciously connect patterns, their mind can travel to the unimaginable. On one end of this darker disposition, they're known for their witty, dark sense of humor, their mad scientist-like ideas, and their questionable measures to make things right. On the other end, this shadow self can also bring out the worst of this clever type. This is the side to blame in the rare instances that the INFJ lashes out, seeks revenge, or becomes overly defensive or bluntly rude. This is the side that emerges when the INFJ is overwhelmed, overworked, or taken advantage of for too long. In a sense, this dark side can be seen as their defense mechanism, but that doesn't make it any easier for others to understand. Number 2. Being fake and inauthentic. With no choice but to swap out their genuine personality for others in hopes to seamlessly blend in with fellow humans, the INFJ type has the reputation of being a little fake. While only certain people notice this minor change in the INFJ's demeanor, they have a habit of using their chameleon-like trait of adapting to others' energies in order to make those around them feel most comfortable. In addition to wanting to gain others' trust, INFJs also have a deep-rooted fear of being misunderstood. When they're not wearing another personality, they tend to come across as quite dull around those they don't know. With so much going on behind the scenes and a hesitancy to share their thoughts and ideas with others, the surface-level INFJ can easily be overlooked. So, while their attempts at making conversation with others in a people-pleasing manner may seem a little ingenuine or make them come across as too agreeable at times, it's all this personality type has ever known. Not to mention, once their defensive wall is broken down, their true personality is worth waiting around for. Number 3. Being too idealistic and critical. Fussy and finicky aren't exactly terms the INFJ themselves would consider themselves to be. However, with their notorious idealistic nature and their need to have things done their own way, it's not far-fetched for others to consider them to have these seemingly negative qualities. In fact, those who know an INFJ personally may find it nearly impossible to please them to the degree they hope to. Whether it's surprising them with a gift, sharing good news, or cooking them a meal, when INFJs are comfortable enough with a person, their honesty shines a light into just how idealistic they are in their own heads. INFJs know they can be harshly critical at times, and it's not exactly something they're the most proud of. Luckily, they try their best to keep their critiques to themselves, and as a result, often have a great ingenuine reaction to things they're actually not 100% pleased with. Yet, when it comes to their own lives, they often don't have a choice but to stand up for how perfect they want things. Number 4. Guardedness being disguised as independence. Free-spirited at heart, there's no doubt that the INFJ personality type has a genuine need for alone time to recharge their batteries. They not only enjoy solo activities and feel reluctant to spend too much time with others, but they also pride themselves in their ability to do things on their own, with little to no dependence on those around them. They love to feel and be viewed as capable, even if it means taking on far more than they can handle. However, while this introverted type is able to convince most people that this independence is nothing more than a preference, some can see right through it. In fact, it's in their stubborn unwillingness to accept help, support, or even simple friendship that the INFJ creates a reputation of being overly guarded. Although each and every INFJ has their own reasons for being so untrusting of others, this guarded perception often causes more harm than good. Being cautious is necessary for this type to protect their empathic abilities. However, when the INFJ approaches their independence in a way of remaining permanently closed off to the possibility of accepting connection, they scare off not only those with ill intentions, but also those who are willing to work for an authentic bond. Number 5. Being snobby. Speaking of the INFJ's independence and reserved nature, those who don't know an INFJ personally will easily see them as snobbish. Infamous for their deadpan expressions and their judgy looks, the INFJ's need to constantly observe their surroundings overrides their obligation to seem approachable. Despite being overly interested in what others are doing, saying, and how they're feeling, INFJs come across as being completely disinterested. Their body language usually gives an automatic false impression that they're better than everyone around them, with a self-absorbed, egotistical mentality. While it's true that INFJs usually can't quite relate to others in a way that makes them feel as if they're on a similar level to those around them, this judgment isn't necessarily made through a sense of hierarchy. They find small talk mundane and quickly lose interest in everyday conversation about the weather or the latest sale, which makes the reactions they do have seem quite underwhelming and at times non-existent. Number 6. Being cold and calculated. Known for their otherwise caring and helpful demeanor, this empathetic type has a certain calculative approach when it comes to shutting necessary people out of their lives. You see, when the INFJ reaches a certain breaking point, there's something that switches within them. Known for their door slamming and their reputation of walking away from certain connections with no emotions attached, it's sometimes hard to believe just how much the INFJ is actually affected. INFJs subconsciously take on the emotions and feelings of everyone around them, matching the energy of those they spend the most time with. And with this incredible power comes a clear sense of when to draw the line to protect their own precious energy. So, while their actions may look cold in the process, the INFJ will give anyone a fair chance at proving themselves of meeting the minimal expectations they set out. But once an INFJ has decided you're not worthy of the energy exchange, don't be surprised if you get the boot out of their lives for good. Rooted in the dark side of their personality, which we discussed previously, this personality type doesn't do this to hurt the other person, but rather uses it as a last resort defense mechanism. And lastly, number 7, being moody. With the level of emotional maturity that most INFJs possess, it's not to say that they're not still only human. To put it fairly, INFJ can and are at times quite moody. While they rarely express their feelings in forms of anger or aggression, they have their own way of letting those around them know that they're not in the frame of mind to entertain. Despite their extroverted feeling function that causes them to be much more in tune with the emotions of others in comparison to the feelings they're experiencing internally, INFJs know when they're not being the most friendly. Whether someone said something wrong or they're just having an off day, INFJs only make it apparent that something is bothering them when they don't want to put on an act. Since they're so good at bottling things up to appear calm on the outside, an INFJ's moodiness is their way of communicating without words. In fact, it's once their moodiness has subsided that the INFJ would attempt to openly discuss what was bothering them. A moody INFJ is an INFJ that needs some R&R and alone time to sift through their feelings and recharge. Well, psychos, that's it for today. So, let us know in the comments below if you agree with these negative INFJ reputations. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss a video.